think I'm live. Am I live? So I broke my arm yesterday. It's really painful. It kind of hurts. And I've learned that it's pretty tricky to do things without a right arm, right? Like brushing my teeth with my left. I like my wrist was so sore from just brushing. I didn't realize how much muscle that took. Trying to cut a line today was really tricky. Um, there's just all sorts of things that you don't realize you need your right arm for. It's kind of embarrassing how I broke it too because I decided to go rollerblading yesterday and I hadn't gone for a while, but I just kind of felt like doing something that would be fast and would get the wind through my hair. I was feeling pretty pumped. I just watched our church's general conference, which just has really inspiring speakers. They're speaking today again if you want to watch, but that just made me feel like, okay, I can do these things that I've been feeling inspired to do, but are way over my head. But if I have Heavenly Father helping me, I can do this. So I was feeling all inspired and ready to go and feeling like I need to go do something fast and get my thoughts in order. And so here I am. I haven't done it for a while, so I'm kind of shaky at first, but then I get going and I'm feeling pretty good. I'm dodging people. I'm feeling like, life is great. And then after rollerblading for a while, it's time to get back to my car. And I'd parked kind of a little ways down the hill. It wasn't very far, but just far enough, I guess, to get going pretty fast. And so I kind of turned and I thought I should probably take my rollerblades off down this hill because I'm obviously not experienced and I don't know how to brake very well. But I thought, well, the car's pretty close. I can just stop myself with the car. And so I get going on the hill. I get going a little too fast. And I'm like, oh no, here it goes. And I stop myself with my car, but my wrist kind of bent backwards. And that's how I broke my arm. So here I am. And some kind of cool lessons I learned from that experience, but I'll talk about that in a minute. I wanted to share with you some of the things. I was going to type this all out this morning and send it an email, but typing is also really difficult with a broken arm. So I decided to do this live instead, and I'm hoping to get my thoughts clear to you guys because I'm really excited about all these things that I want to help with and have been inspired to do. And so I was on this hike on Thursday with a group of youth. Um, I was on two hikes with two different groups of youth on Thursday. And one of the questions I asked them as we were discussing, I like to do these discussion hikes where I give them a piece of paper and then they discuss it, and then I trade them partners, and then I give them another discussion question, and then they discuss that. So we were discussing Mother Teresa in chapter 3 of my book that is about motives and why you do what you do. And so we're talking about some of those things as we're hiking up. And when we got to the waterfall, I let them play in it for a little while and they had a good time. And then I gathered them and I said, okay, so from all our discussion today and thinking about your motives and why you do what you do, and Mother Teresa and why she did what she did, um, what is a problem that you see in the world that you want to help fix or that you wish that you could help with? And they had some really insightful answers, and you could tell that they had actually thought about these things before. And one of them said mental health problems, another said broken families, another said prejudice when someone hates another group for no reason just because they're in that other group. Um, they had just some really cool things. And I said, you don't have to wait till you're older to start working on some of the things. You could start working on them now and thinking of ways that little things you can do that can help with what you see. It can be getting on video or sharing some writing or talking to your friends or teaching a class or things like that. And I had them just start thinking about some things because we're going to be working on a project to help in the causes that they have. And one of the things that I also told them is that a lot of times we can find out what our gifts are and what our talents are by noticing the things that bother us, by noticing the problems that really get under our skin and that we really want to help with. And that gives us some hints into what our unique contribution can be to the world. And so I told them that mine is something that seems to bother me a lot is when I see people not living up to their potential because they don't understand who they are and what they're capable of. And I know the world suffers when a person doesn't see that and they just distract themselves and move along with what everybody else expects them to do. And I also think it's kind of a cultural problem because we do tend to grow up in this check off the boxes of somebody else's expectations, right? We get this done, get this done, get this done, and then we can go and do other things. But we're just always trying to meet others' expectations, and we kind of tend to carry that into adulthood. After we leave that, we tend to start, we're still checking up boxes of others' expectations, of the cultural expectations, these sometimes false expectations we put on ourselves. And we don't stop often enough to really dig deep and think, what is it that I really feel inspired to do? What is it that, even if it's going to look different than my neighbors, the kind of lifestyle I need to have in order to accomplish those things that mean the most to me and that my talents are, that the gifts I've been given are for. And so that's why I wrote the book that I wrote and why I do these programs and I'm teaching these classes is because that bothers me so much that I want to help people really understand who they are and make systems and habits and frameworks in their life that help them zone in to their work and to lift their family, making their own unique contribution to the world, so that they can be happy and creative and in this constant hamster wheel of expectations and do and the feeling, I get it sometimes when I forget, is just this, constant, I have way too much to do and I don't know how to get it all done. Or if sometimes, if well, I think all moms probably tend to be more that way. But there's also the, like, as soon as I get all these things done, then I can do what I want and just relax. And sometimes, that's also not great, because we've been blessed with so much and we've got to find ways that we will be happier too if we can find the contribution that we can make instead of just cruising through life. So I wanted to share that with you because as I've been thinking about that in my Facebook group, I decided to do some things a little bit differently, and I want to invite you to come and do them with us. But I'm going to start doing a challenge a week, and it's going to go along with the book I wrote, and it's going to help you start to see your motives, start to see what it is that you fear and why, and how you can overcome those things. Because fear isn't the enemy, and a lot of times we think it is. A lot of times we have anxiety, because, hi Teresa, because we think that fear is bad. And so we need to understand that it can help us. It's what helps us grow. So anytime we step out of our comfort zone a little bit, that's the zone of growth. And that's where we start to become who we need to be. And we need to do that a little bit each day. Just get out of our comfort zone. And so these challenges are going to help you do that. There'll be different levels in the challenges. So I'll give you a challenge and I'll say, you can get out of your comfort zone, at this level or this level or this level. And you can choose the one that's best for you, that stretches you just to the point where you're not in panic mode. And so these weekly challenges there's going to be 6 units at the top of my Facebook group. Well, it'll be a little tab that says units, and under it there will be 6 challenges, and there will be like 3 tasks under each challenge. And each week, as you complete them, then I'll invite you to a little Zoom meeting where we can discuss what we learned. And then I'll do a little live where I'll share the next challenge and why it's important, and you can ask questions. And then we'll work on it through the week. We'll share with each other what we learned, and then we'll do the little Zoom meeting. So I'm kind of excited. I'm excited to start creating this tribe of women. I think I need to surround myself with friends who are also trying to challenge themselves and grow, and who are trying to lift their families and make their contribution to the world as well, and prioritize their lives in a way that helps them do that. And so, and then also to use our gifts to help one another, because as we work together, we can, what's the word I'm looking for? Complement each other's talents and even share a message in a more complete way, because we're helping one another do that. So that's the other end goal that I'm hoping to achieve with this. I'm going to have those 6 units on that group, and then once you finish those challenges, then I'll invite you to another group that has 6 more, and those are the ones that help you earn your compass emblem. And so if you are at all not familiar with the way I teach or the program that I have, there's 7 emblems that you do challenges to receive, and they each represent a certain area of your life and the way that you are moving through your life that helps you. So let me explain. I'll just give an example. So the compass emblem is the one that helps you see how to get clarity and direction in your life, and how to live that way daily, and check in and make sure that your goals, because as you move forward, your goals will change, right? You'll have a greater vision. It's like moving up a mountain. At first you think, oh, that's where I want to get to. And you get there and you see a more beautiful view, and that's more complete. And you realize, oh, I actually want to get there. And so to help you learn how to clarify that as you go, and to have a more clear vision, and like I said, overcome your fears and see your motives and make sure they're in alignment so that you can have a very clear vision that's going to make you happy. That's not just going to take you to something that's going to leave you empty in the end. And then the map emblem is what comes next, and that also has six challenges that go along with it. And that one helps you create a summit phrase, is what I call it. So basically, find the characteristic, and you learn how to find that characteristic through the challenges that you want to work on, and then you put things in your life that help you be able to reach that vision. And so you have a summit phrase that you remember and that you recite each morning, and it helps you reach and pull you towards that vision that you have for your life. And then the next one is I'm going to make these little boot camps is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to have these different boot camps that you get these emblems with. And so after that is your armor, which helps you learn how to be inspired as well as be inspiring to your family and others. And then you move on to your shield, which helps you take control of your thoughts. And then your weapon, which helps you take care of your body and respect it. Then we move on to resources, which help you acquire the time and resources you need to accomplish the things that you've been feeling inspired to do. Then there's also create the environment that you need that has those things. And then there's combat skills, which help you develop your gifts and talents so that you can bless the world and make your unique contribution. So there's those 7 emblems that we're working on, but there's 6 challenges in each. The first one with the Facebook group I'm in right now is kind of like the prep. I guess I could call it like a boot camp or something. I haven't decided what I'm going to name it. If you have any ideas, I'd love to hear them. But then you move on to accomplishing these things. So if it's something that sounds exciting to you and something that you want to be a part of, then I encourage you to join that Facebook group. If you can't find it, just go to my website. Actually, you should go to my website anyway because it helps you sign up, and then you'll get emails that remind you and that help you keep track of where you're at. So just go to my website. There's a little picture on there that has an orange square in the middle that says start here. You just start there, and then you can type in your email, and then you can get started that way. So hi, Nicole. I broke my arm rollerblading. I talked about the beginning, so you can go back and watch this live at the beginning, and I'll share my embarrassing experience with how I broke my arm. But does this all make sense? Let me look at your comments. I think that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to write them, and I'll go back and answer them later. Let me just make sure I didn't forget anything I wanted to say. I don't think so. I think I got it all. So we start next week. We start Monday. And so I hope you'll tell your friends if anybody else is interested that would like to do this with us. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really excited to just get this group of women around me that will help me and that I can help be able to have a clear vision and reach our goals in all of these different areas. So thanks for listening, and I will talk to you later. Have a happy Sunday.